Hey guys, I'm Anthony Growe and I work with the Richmond County Cooperative Extension Office. I'm an agriculture agent there where I have responsibilities over livestock and crops. Today I want to talk about cool season annuals and how they can be used to graze cattle throughout the winter. So when we think of springtime, many of us think maybe of pollen or flowers, maybe even warmer weather, warmer temperatures for maybe the beach or things like that. But when I think of spring, I think of grazing cool season annual grasses. This is this time of the year when we get really good growth. Warmer temperatures cause these grasses to really crank up in the amount of growth and nutrition they have. Right now we're standing in a small pasture that was overseeded with cereal rye and ryegrass, annual ryegrass. So they're actually two different things. A lot of people get those confused or use them interchangeably, but that often is not the case. They actually are two different grasses. And I'm going to pick some up here and show you. This is a plant called cereal rye. It's just cereal grain, small grain, planted in the winter. Typically harvested for things like to make rye bread or beer, things like that. Now my right hand on your left side, that is annual ryegrass. So you can see it's a little different. It has not quite reached its growth potential compared to the cereal rye. The cereal rye is kind of at its peak at this point when it's starting to put on seed heads, and the ryegrass is just really starting to take off. And you can tell the difference even by just the difference in the shade of green. Ryegrass typically has more of a sheen to it, to shine, versus cereal rye. It's kind of a dull gray blue color. What we have here is we have annual ryegrass, and again this is the shorter, more shiny grass, and then we also have the cereal rye, which is kind of at its peak performance here. Again, it's much higher. These were planted at the same time. They were mixed together while they were planted at the end of October, and basically you can see that the growth rate's different between the two species here. A lot of folks ask, why would you even plant those two together? And simply to extend your grazing season. While you have this cereal rye, which has been grazed a few times this year already. We started in early February, believe it or not, because of our warm temperatures. As it starts to sputter out and peak out, the ryegrass is just kicking in. And again, that extends that grazing season on into May, while we're waiting for our warm season grasses like Bermuda grass and Bahia grass to green back up. So in this 2-acre pasture, we put out 30 units of nitrogen 2 weeks after planting. And the reason why we delayed that application of nitrogen is because we actually still had some green Bermuda grass and Bahia grass in the field when we seeded. I didn't want that Bahia and Bermuda to take that nitrogen up and basically scavenge it from our ryegrass and cereal rye. So after we grazed it off in February, we came back in early March and applied about 70 units of nitrogen broadcast across the field here. And that's really what's making this grass take off. March is the time when you want to make that application. So if you really want to extend your grazing season next year, think about incorporating cool season annuals into your warm season pastures. This really limits the amount of hay you need to feed through the year, which it can be costly and time consuming in feeding. Let the cows do the harvesting for you. If you have any more questions about cattle, livestock, or forages, just contact the Richmond County Extension Office and I'll be happy to help you.